Hey, what's up everybody, Retro Gaming Guy here. Today in this video, we are going to unbox, demo, and review the Coolpo AI Huddle Mini Lite webcam. So let's dive into this and see what it has to offer. All right, here we have the Coolpo AI Huddle Mini Lite webcam. So we are going to open this up. So right off the bat, we have our manual here, which I want to take a look at. So it says quick start guide here. And let's see. Shows us everything that is included in here, how to set everything up, all the different functions and features are outlined on here. Most importantly, the connection. So this is going to be connecting via a Type-C to regular USB-A cable on here. So looks pretty straightforward. And it does look like we have privacy protection here with a little switch on top. So let's go ahead and open this up. Very thorough though for the actual user manual. So here is the device itself. And here is our cable inside. And this looks to be a pretty lengthy cable. So it is USB-C to USB-A. So let's open this up. All right, so this is a 6-foot cable here. So that's awesome that you can get that far away from your PC. I don't think anybody necessarily needs to, but always good to have that option. So let's take a look at the actual webcam here. So I'm definitely seeing, let's take all this off first, but I'm definitely seeing that privacy switch at the top there. So you can see currently on red, and if we push that over, that opens up the little door there, so it exposes the lens of our camera. So this has some weight to it, definitely feels well made. Metallic everywhere, glass in front it looks like. So this looks very nice. Is it glass? Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's glass in front, so high quality here. Lots of little plastic protective strips on here. I want to make sure I get all of that off because it doesn't help me here with the video. But you can see, very glossy finish on there. I'm liking the design. Looks very nice. All right, so I really like the fact that we do have that door there. Very unique. And we do have the microphone built into this. So we have the Type-C connection on the back side. So we'll take our cable. And this is literally the only connection that we need to make to the actual device. Other end, which is again USB-A, is going to go into our PC. So now with that thread, we can actually put a tripod on the bottom of this, just like so. And you would be able to just simply set it up. Obviously, this is a very small tripod. But because of the fact that we have this hinge back here, you can also angle this up or down just right there. And you can see it stays exactly where you want it to. So I think that that is really awesome that you have that ability. But we don't even need this. If we didn't want this, we just simply don't use the thread on the bottom there. And this is designed to actually basically cradle your monitor. So assuming these two fingers are the front of my monitor, this just simply sits on top like that. And this back piece here acts as support. And you can adjust that to angle the pitch of your actual webcam. So you can adjust up and down based on this piece right here. So I'm going to show you guys how this works on a monitor. We're also going to plug this in, open up the software, and dive into all of the features that this offers on the actual PC. All right, so here is my computer monitor here. So what we're going to do is just simply rest this on top, and then we just push in that back leg to actually tighten up our connection. And we can fully position this downward like this by simply pulling that back piece in, or just push down on the top of this, and it automatically brings that back leg open more, so we can have this facing, more forward like this rather than pitched downward like that. Now this also turns, and the cool thing about this is you can track movement on here, so you don't have to manually adjust this if you don't want to. So I'm going to angle it where I think would be about midway there, and I'm going to get in front of this momentarily. Now the other end of this, again, the USB-A side, just gets plugged into any USB port on your PC. I have a ton of them on my HP Pavilion gaming PC, so I'm gonna go ahead and connect that right now, and then we're gonna jump into this. All right, so in order to get everything up and running here on our PC for the Coolpo AI Huddle Mini Lite, we need to go to the Coolpo website, which is www.coolpo.io, and then you're gonna go up here to the top where it says resources, drop down to where it says download Coolpo tools. So we're gonna go ahead and click on that. And here you can download it for whatever you need to. So then from here, you're able to download whichever version you need to download. So we have the Coolpo AI Huddle Mini Lite, and I'm using Windows. So we're going to go over here to download. We're going to let this download. Should drop down over here on the right-hand side. There we go. So you may get this notice right here when you go to download this that just basically says this isn't commonly downloaded. Make sure you trust Coolpo before you open it. So we're just going to go ahead and click on keep. We're going to drop down here to keep anyways. It's just warning us that they can't verify Coolpo. So we are going to open this file up on our downloads. You may have noticed there in the bottom right corner that my malware remover, protector, whatever you want to call it, did verify that this is a safe download. So no risk there. So it says right here, do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? We're going to go ahead and hit yes. And we're going to, on here, hit next. I do want to create a desktop shortcut. So we're going to check that. You don't have to. I just want it easily accessible on my desktop. And we're going to click on install here. It's going to extract files, do its thing really quickly here. And we'll hit finish. And I have checked here, launch Coolpo tools. So as soon as we hit finish, this should, and that's just in the background because I double clicked before. So that it's going to automatically connect us here. And you can see what I like about this is the fact that this is very small here. So we don't have to fill an entire screen to access this. We can leave it exactly as it is right here. We can move it around very easily on our screen. So if you're doing other things on here, which I assume you probably are if you're using a webcam, you can have this over on the side. You can minimize it too by just simply doing that. I'll open it back up. But you can see here that we are connected currently. So I'm going to access this next. Now, in order to access everything, we're just simply going to click on here. And it says preview screen is closed. So we're going to go over here in the bottom right corner of that. And now we should have full access. We're able to see ourselves on our webcam. So you can see me right now talking to you guys. And we can actually make a bunch of different adjustments on here. So we can go over, first and foremost, we see that we have Meeting Flex AI enabled. That basically means that it's going to track us, right? So I moved over here, it tracked me over. My green screen in the background here is very small, so it's not covering my entire background. And this camera actually zooms out as well. But if I moved over here like this, it's going to notice that my head is off center and it's going to move me back over. So I like the ability to track on here. I think that is huge, especially for gamers, especially when I'm doing videos, because I have a tendency to get into a game. If I'm doing like a gameplay demo and I'm recording that, I tend to kind of bounce around a little bit where I'm on this chair, my gaming chair, and I'm moving around. And sometimes, I'll slide over like this or whatever, depending on the game I'm playing. And this camera is able to track me, so I stay somewhat centered on stream. If we wanted to disable this, we would be able to basically go in here, and down here you can see there's different degrees. So we would be able to go in and fully customize this and adjust it a little bit more. So I'm going to disable this right now by simply clicking on it, because currently you see that it is enabled. And now you can see I have full access to these other degrees. So I can zoom out. Right now I'm on 60. I can go out to 90 here, and you can see that's going to move me back considerably. So now you see much more of what's behind me, but you can see where my green screen is here. I don't want to have it, that far of a range, because in all honesty, I have a mess behind me right now. You see all my camera setups over here, more lighting over there. So I want to zoom into 60. That's more centered at least. And if I was going in here and I was going to cut this for like a gameplay video, what I would do is I would just remove, obviously, the green screen in the background, crop all of this. I'd center myself, so I'd have to go over here. But you can see I have full ability to do all of that. We can go into audio sensitivity. We can make some adjustments there, but let's go into camera settings here. So this is where we can adjust brightness. And I do want to mention that the picture here is probably not as good as it could be because my lighting is actually behind me. I would literally just shot the other segment of this video where I was setting up the webcam, which is over here. So my lighting is still going this direction. So I will adjust my lighting momentarily, just so you guys can see how the video looks here and the quality of it when the lighting is done properly, or at least better than it is right now, which is just entirely going the wrong direction. But we can go in here, we can customize brightness. So I can come up here, I can brighten things considerably. That's obviously way too overexposed, but we can bring it down too. We can darken things. Just depends on the type of video that you're doing. I think that 50% mark is pretty good. Depends on, the colors in your background, your lighting, obviously, as well. But sharpness, we can sharpen things up. We can drop them down a little bit. So fully customizable here. Now we can also go in here to the presets here in image mode. We can go into vivid. You can see I definitely look probably a little too pink, if anything. We can go into bright, or we can go into standard. And I think bright, to me, just looking at this, seems to be the best one for what I have going on right now. But I will adjust the lighting in here, and then we can save everything. So those would be our settings moving forward. Now we can also go up here to the top right corner to update our firmware. I seem to be out of date right now, so I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to update the firmware, let it do its thing here, and I'm going to adjust my lighting in the room. All right, guys, so I just updated the firmware on here. It was literally one-click update, so it doesn't get any easier than that. And I did adjust my lighting here, so you do see that currently I look much better on camera than I did when I first launched all of this for you guys. But we can also go in here, and I only have one light overhead, kind of off-center from the webcam, and you can see that based on the shadows over on this side that the light is right over here, or literally right there now. So I can go in here too and adjust these. We can go to vivid, which looks, actually everything looks much better now. We can go over here to custom. We can adjust brightness this way, bring it down again. Go back over to standard where everything's at 50%. That looks actually pretty good too. And sometimes with standard, you can make your adjustments externally from your software. You can adjust your lighting manually. And I do find that that sometimes is the best route to take, but it all depends on what you're filming, what your background is like. Usually I don't have a green screen, lately anyways, when I'm doing videos, so it all depends. And we can also manually adjust our camera too. Just because it's on there and it's tracking us doesn't mean we can't manually make adjustments too. So that is always a good thing. I'm going to go over to bright, save everything right here. We're going to confirm those saves. And now we are fully able to do whatever we want on here. It's very easy to use. The software is great. Tons of capabilities here, tons of customizations. I love the presets. I love the fact that we have the presets on here. We can take the presets, we can even then alter them. And if I like bright here, but maybe I want it a little bit brighter, all I have to do is just slide this over and notice how it jumps over to custom. So just tons of different options here within the features and camera settings. Really happy with this though. And the picture quality here, now that I got my lighting much better, and it's not perfect, but it's much better, I'm really loving what this webcam has to offer. All right, guys, this was a great experience here with this Coolpo webcam. What I love most about this is not only the fact that it has amazing audio quality and also amazing video. We're dealing with 4K Ultra HD resolution, but what really sets this apart for me is the webcam design itself. This is not low profile necessarily. This is not, your tiny little webcam that sits on top of your monitor. This is a pretty chunky webcam. And I love that setup because I've been using compact, small webcams up until this point. And my biggest complaint is that I knock them off of my monitor all the time. They have the same sort of clamp, but this one is much wider. And the fact that it's wider, it's safer and more secure. It mounts perfectly to your monitor. And I show you guys here, my monitor is curved. So that means that you have less of a surface there because of the curvature to that you can actually mount to. And even with my curved monitor, it mounts on there perfectly. Very safe, very secure. And up until this point, I have not knocked it over. I haven't even bumped it to the point where I'm even remotely concerned that it's going to topple over. Whereas my other mini webcam that I've had and been using up until this point falls over all the time, to the point where I just took it off my monitor altogether and I tucked it in a drawer. So then I have to go get it out, reset it up every time I want to use it. With this, it's so safe and secure, I can just leave it mounted to the top of my monitor. I unplug the cable on the back just to minimize the risk of, grabbing onto the wrong cable when I'm setting something up on my PC. I'm constantly adjusting cables and bringing new things into my PC. I remove that, and then all I have to do is literally just plug that in to be able to use this again. So love the fact that it's convenient, safe, secure, and we also have that privacy protector on there, which I think is absolutely perfect. We've all seen and heard horror stories of people maybe in their underwear in front of their webcam without realizing that it's on, or maybe even doing weirder things than that. So we don't have to worry about that with this webcam. We just simply push that privacy protector over and it disengages the camera altogether. The biggest thing about this though is the software. The software on this webcam is insane, absolutely amazing. I love the presets on here, which I think for your camera settings, gets you closer to the right direction. Everybody's going to have different requirements and different wants for their settings. It's going to depend on your lighting in your room, the colors in your room. There's just so many different things that play into that, and nobody's going to have the same exact setup. So you may want different settings than I want based on our surroundings. With this, we can go over to our presets, and then if we find that the presets aren't perfect, we can move things over, we can adjust contrast, sharpness, lighting, all that stuff, and it automatically brings us over to custom, which is great. I like the fact that the presets aren't written in stone. We can customize those, we can use them as a reference, and then customize from there. So I think that's absolutely amazing that we can do stuff like that and just custom tailor everything. Also, we have the ability to track our face and to track our movement. So if we move out of frame, the camera will actually follow us. Now, if you move really quickly, there is a delay. You want to try to at least, be relatively slow like this. If you, dart out of frame, it's going to take a couple seconds for it to go back and track you, but still, it is going to track you. So most of us are moving around a little bit, and that's an issue I've had in the past when I do gameplay demos. I usually will do, I'm demoing a video game, for example, and I put myself small in the corner so you can see me. Usually I'm doing commentary as well. And oftentimes I'll get into the game and I'll notice that I'm no longer in frame because it's hard to watch your screen that you're playing a game along with and then also monitor your placement in your frame. So with something like this, you can set it basically on autopilot where it tracks you and you don't have to worry about it. I can sway in my gaming chair, I can move back and forth, I can get into my game, and it's going to track all my movement. It's going to keep me centered in the frame. We can also adjust the zoom on it so you can bring everything nice and close. You can also get far away too. So you can have your webcam inches in front of your face and have it look like you were zoomed out and show everything behind you as well. So tons of different capabilities here, tons of different features on this. And I think that for the majority of people, this is going to certainly get you in the right place and give you a great experience. So I'm going to put a link up here at the top of your screen, as well as in the description if you want additional information on this Coolpo webcam. Click those links, get that information. That is going to do it for today though. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up on the video. It's a huge help to me here on YouTube as I try to further expand the channel. And of course, hit subscribe to stay in the loop for all future videos. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next video.